Hey guys, welcome to another English commentary done by Diggity. This is going to be a Pro League match, Pro League playoffs between CJ Antis and OGN Sparkies, and it looks like OGN is going to be putting forward Gogo, while CJ Antis is putting forth Iris. And I'll start with Gogo. They had this discussion thread on TeamLiquid.net. Go there, by the way, on TeamLiquid.net that was talking about. Oh, actually, while I'm thinking about it, you can stop spamming Moltrap now. He got all the messages loud and clear. You don't need to send him any more messages. He's cleaning out his inbox. Thanks everybody that sent those messages, by the way. He officially put up a vid that was kind of a GG. It's like, okay, Diggity's a bastard already. Stop sending messages. He's apparently, I'm not sure where he's at now, but I think before he had something like 40 or 50 within a couple minutes, within about a couple hours of the video being up. So thanks guys again. Anyway, getting to Gogo, there was a thread on Team Liquid who was talking about who's the most hated pro gamer, and a lot of people said Firebat Hero for Terran. A lot of people said one player or another. But this one guy, he said Gogo, because every time I do Liquibet and I expect that this game to come out one direction or the other, Gogo ends up beating someone I just don't expect him to beat. And that kind of gives the idea of Gogo. Gogo, a very proficient player, especially against kind of tougher competition. He's really good against Terran, and I think actually Zerg is his weakest Protoss. Zerg is his weakest Protoss. Zerg is his weakest matchup. I'm tired today, as you can tell. But versus Terran, he's very strong, and he's very good against proficient players. And it looks like Iris was sending that SCV around an odd route. I guess he's double-checking to make sure that he wasn't getting proxied. Bluestorm known for proxying. I thought for saying that he might be thinking about a little bit of cheese himself. I think putting the supply depot in back. He's of course not doing that, because usually when you see cheese out of a Terran player, they don't go for supply depot first. They go for the barracks first. They just go put a barracks out in the field or two barracks out in the field, and then after the supply depot, post that. Iris, if you haven't heard of Iris or you haven't seen Iris play, go check out Clazzard's account, Clazzard and go check him out. He was in the OSL finals one OSL ago, so past the Jadong victory. It was Iris versus GG Play, and back then I was actually willing to say that Iris was probably the 1 or 2 Terran. He really was kind of a top level awesome Terran, because he was so he's actually going by the name Berserker these days, because he really was the Berserker. He has excellent macro management. People say that Mind is very reminiscent of Iris in that regard, and he was okay with micro, but what he was fantastic at doing is whenever he felt like he could safely do so, he would always have pressure on his opponent. He would always be putting enemy forces in his opponent's base, always keep his opponent on the defensive, and he would just mentally dominate games as a result. SCV going around the far away for a scout. He wants to make sure, as you can see, Iris going to go up for that block to try to block that SCV going out through the throughway, and instead, very clever on Gogo's part, bringing the SCV the far away around. So going to be able to scout. He's going to be intercepted by that Marine, but not before he gets a good spot into Iris's base. Very clever maneuver on his part. Barracks up and floating now, so he knows that he's going to be facing a standard factory build. Both players going for a factory. I would actually expect both players to play fairly safe. Yeah, both looks like, actually no, a starport going up for Gogo. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting him to put down a machine shop, go siege, and then try to go for expansion, but he's going for a very quick. This is going to be an interesting divergence here, because Iris, of course, is going to be head economically, but because he's putting down that expansion, going to be a little bit more open to a harass, and I think Gogo is going to seal his front door and go dropships. Interesting play. Going to seal his front door and go dropships. It looks like Iris also setting up a seal on his front door. Wants to make sure that he doesn't end up and going to post Marines in the meantime at the gap. Interesting play from both players, and now Gogo going for his expansion as well. So his expansion is going to be up later, but as a result of that starport, we'll see if he decides to go Wraith or a dropship. If he goes dropship, really I think that could be a big advantage early for him, because he's going to be able to go and kind of do the inverted Iris. He's going to be able, and actually doing the inverted Iris right now, he's putting pressure on Iris and not letting him kind of stop and rest, and going to put the mental pressure on him instead of the other way around. And it looks like, yeah, he's just going to continue. Yeah, now putting the machine shop shot down. Tank pushing up though, and Tank obviously that Vulture retreating now. But an interesting maneuver from Gogo, and we'll see if this ends up paying out for him in the long term. Now getting the machine shop up, looks like he is going to produce a Wraith, and we'll see if if Iris is going to have anything to deal with this. The interesting thing about having a single Wraith, though, is he is getting an armory down now, so we're going to be prepared for it. The interesting thing about a single Wraith is the question is how much damage can you do with a single Wraith? Kind of in the long run, if he goes and stops that tech, if he stops that armory from going up, really. If he had just kind of not gone for the fast expand, maybe gone for 2 starports and then gone to harass, usually you'll see successes there with the Wraith harass isn't so much just picking a couple SCVs, it's stopping that tech from going up, keeping that SCV from building that armory or that second factory, and then from that point on, once you have cloaking, continuing from there. So doing exactly what he needs to do, going up and going to try to take on that SCV, second SCV repair, going to bring those Marines up and try to halt this SCV. So, but Iris doing everything he needs to do to kind of stay in this. Another Wraith coming in the meantime. Control tower going down, so he's going to start upgrading cloaking here in a second, and it looks like he's got that secondary. He's already mining gas out of it. He has a tank now, and it's great because he doesn't need that tank at right this moment, trying to get in as many hits in as possible until that second Wraith comes up. So because basically what this is going to achieve is he doesn't have to worry about getting tanks until a little bit later, simply because Iris, as you can see on the defensive, he gets to go in, get the spot, get the information, and also do harassment. Now bringing those Wraiths back, realizing that he's not really going to be able to do anything more of that. It looks like Iris might be taking a third expansion. I see something in the upper left-hand corner that might be Gogo again. I'm not sure. And it looks like what he's going to do is he's going to wait for either Cloak or something like that. And also he's going to be in a better position to continue or to get some. It looks like a Vulture actually just going to scout that out. And now Iris on the move. This is classic Iris. As soon as he feels comfortable, as soon as he feels like he has a decent-sized attack force, he kind of pushes up with it. It looks like he's got a scan, and really actually he's leaving himself a bit vulnerable here. He knows he has to worry about those raids, but I guess he's just going to allow Goliath reinforcements to kind of work otherwise, and Gogo's going to probably have to turn around here in a second. As you can see, those raids probably going to go and retreat here. We'll see if they try to shift around, but really he's going to need those to defend his front door. He's getting a second factory down, only 3 tanks. He's lifting his front door as well, so it looks like he's going to try to push forward in a little bit of position here. Going to attack a little bit of Iris's lines, but I don't think those 2 SCVs are really going to make the difference here. Now pulling those wraiths back, and Iris going to set up a contain around the perimeter, going to wait for siege tech to kick in, which will be in just a second here, and he's going to siege that secondary from that corner. And Gogo in the meantime, wow, this is just turning a fantastic match. He's trying to get that barrack out so he can get the spot once he gets siege tech upgraded. Iris sensing obviously that he wasn't going to have siege tech a little bit later because of that wraith push, and going up and putting the pressure there. Now he's pulling back in a retreat, and that Iris showing a bit of his old form there, going in and pushing out and pulling back right when he needs to, and it looks like he's still continuing to put the pressure on, still forward into Gogo's base. Managed to catch a tank and an SCV coming out and attacking. SCV quickly taken care of, and he almost took out a tank there, which would have been a really big advantage. It looks like just 2 tanks up front. They're going to go siege instead. Wraiths coming back cloaked this time, but we'll see if Iris can do. Let's see if Gogo can do enough micromanagement to make these wraiths truly effective, or if Iris is going to basically have the Goliath. It looks like Iris is trying to get down a turret in the meantime. Let's see if he scans in time. He's going to scan, force those wraiths back, and that's the interesting thing about wraiths is you can just kind of push back and forth and dodge those scans. What he needs to do is, he just needs to start stopping tech. I think that's the best use of wraiths in Terran versus Terran, is you just stop extra buildings from going up. You just do a little bit. You make it picky and as annoying as possible, but you get the rest of your tech going. If at this point, if you're going to win with wraiths, you had to do it a lot sooner, or you had to pump a lot more, obviously. And just going to try to again put the mental pressure on Iris, which can play a huge difference in Terran versus Terran play. 4 factories up for Iris in the meantime, still upgrading, looks like mines and Vulture speed. And it looks like a sizable attack force. Iris brought his attack force all the way back, and now again Gogo's going to push up with his, but wow, Iris already had the contain. As you can see, he already has a contain. He has a lot more tanks, a lot more Goliaths, a lot more units, and I think that's because essentially Gogo's had to use had to micromanage those wraiths around. Going to send up the Goliath and try to use the Goliath to take the initial hit. And now actually Gogo going to try to push up and take care of this contain. Going to use a comsat, losing a tank, and going to try to take care of this comsat going off, a counter comsat going off. Looks like those wraiths have run out of cloak energy though. Now trying to push up. It looks like he's going to lose that forward tank for sure. And might actually lose the kind of protective contain on his base. Iris setting up, and basically in these positions, Iris is going to have a huge advantage because he's going to be able to expand all over the map. But it might be a little bit of a hit on him, because what this is essentially going to force Gogo to do, in my opinion, is go dropships faster than he would otherwise. And there you go, there's a dropship right there. So he's going to be able to both drop and expand, and in Terran versus Terran, dropships can make all the difference. Trying to get a mine out there, it's not going to do anything there. But it looks like Iris is going to spot that dropship out.